It doesn't feel good to admit this, but I legitimately don't have the attention span anymore for TV or movies. Like, I'll put something on and I think I'm going to enjoy it, and then the next thing I know, I'm not enjoying it because I'm just looking at my phone. And sometimes I delay putting the TV on. I'm like, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready to commit.
Hello everyone, this is Emmanuel Cook. We will be reacting to a new video today, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's get into the video.
What's the deal, y'all? Welcome back to Critical Thinking. So today I want to talk to you about basically the shortening of our attention spans and the intent behind it. If y'all think about it, think about how even starting back in like 2015, they started this with like Vine, stuff like that, making these videos 6 seconds, making these videos 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds, like on Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot. You know, they've increasingly made it more as people, you know, have said stuff about it. But think about really even the root words of stuff. Think about the word of this app. Its intent is to keep you on here for long periods of time, just mindlessly scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. And this also, like I said, directly correlates and relates to the diminishing and ceasing of people's education, willingness to educate themselves. And I'm not even talking about in institutions. I'm talking about through everyday life. People won't sit through a book nowadays. People won't read. People won't watch long videos, 10-minute videos, 15-minute videos on YouTube. They would rather prefer, you know, apps like this. Instant gratification, instant, you know, messages, instant, like I said, gratification, programming of the mind, just instant stimulation. People need that. They want that. And it's getting harder and harder for people to be able to pay attention, to stay focused. And this is even, like I said, perpetuating into our society, into our everyday life. People don't want to listen for real. They don't want to really hear about people's day or anything like that. They consider it boring. Activities, things that take a long time, lectures, like I said, things that are mind provoking, things that actually take time because you have to process it. It's becoming less and less popular, less and less common to see or to do. And we have to be aware of that. Think that, take the time, you guys, you know, to just, you know, even if it's just taking time apart from it, you know, doing things that'll actually like bring you education, that'll actually feed you, that'll actually, you know, add to your life, allow you to grow, whether it be physically, spiritually, or mentally. We have to do this, y'all. We have to feed ourselves, because all we're consuming is what they call junk food for thought. Things that are brain rot, things that we consume that have no lessons in them, no teaching in them, and most times they're actually negative, they're derogatory, they have, you know, perverted messages or symbolism within them. So stay woke, y'all, stay blessed, and, you know, just be aware of your attention span and what you consume on a day-to-day, like I always say.
TikTok is ruining your guys' attention span. And here's how I noticed that. I have been, for the past hour, going through a bunch of micro content creators and influencers to see who would be down, who fits the aesthetic, number one, but who would be down to do a review for my loungewear brand. Oh my gosh. First of all, I have the biggest headache. And here's why. Every time I go on a girl's page and I scroll and see what she's about, I get hit with, oh my gosh. And don't get me wrong, those videos are so aesthetically pleasing, but at the same time, if you're looking at it from a broad stance of somebody evaluating your page, and it's just like quick cuts of everything that you're doing in the whole video. There's none of you talking. There's none of you like doing anything to show your personality. When I tell you, that will give somebody the biggest headache. And maybe because I'm doing it in a broad, like I'm looking at a lot of girls, but I'm seeing a lot of that. And I'm just like, where are the personalities? Where are like the girls who are talking to the camera? Like, I want to see your personality. You know what I mean? That's just my observation. Obviously, I have no say. I have only like 4,000 followers. But that's just some notes that I picked up on. And I think that TikTok is ruining a lot of people's attention span for others to edit like this, because like,
y'all complain about people having short attention spans, but y'all were never supposed to talk this much anyway. When TikTok first came out, the max time you had for a video was 15 seconds. You had 15 seconds to get your joke off, to get your fact off, to show off your art, to show off your music. Then they upped it to a minute, and that gave people a little more leeway to show off what they wanted to show off. And then they upped it to 10 minutes. And then they made it so that you can't get paid for any TikToks unless you were talking for over a minute, or whatever you're doing for over a minute. So now we got people that come on here, they just flip on their cameras and they're just yapping. Where do you think that expression came from? Like, yapping was already a thing, but it really started to like blow up because niggas would come on here and just diarrhea mouth, talking about nothing. Like, nobody wants to hear your opinion on everything. You know what I'm saying? So when y'all be complaining about people on TikTok having a short attention span, we weren't supposed to have a long attention span anyway. If I wanted to watch a long form video, I go to YouTube. We watch Netflix with no problem. You know, we go to the movies, we have no problem sitting there and watching the movies. We just don't like hearing y'all talk forever on here. And best believe I yapped my way to over a minute here too.
I saw this tip somewhere that if you want to get back into reading, you should read the book out loud to yourself. Read a book that's not like that complicated. So like maybe a realistic fiction book with an interesting plot. Eventually you will go back to reading in your head, which also I can't believe that some people cannot hear themselves reading in their head, but that's a conversation for another day. It has helped a lot, especially with getting your focus, because I have realized that I've been scrolling on this app too long and I'm losing focus, and I don't like when I can't do something for a long period of time. Like, that's not, no. So I've been doing that lately, and I try to do it specifically at night before going to bed. It also helps with overthinking. I feel like sometimes the key is to disrupt the thoughts. The moment you start overthinking, I feel like you need to do something. So I've either been reading or running. Read, run, or move. Like, move your body. If you want to get your focus back, start reading a book. Read the book out loud. Find a book with an interesting plot. I know people be like, oh, I don't like reading, da da da. That's a problem. That's a problem. I'm telling you, reading will make you smarter, whether you like it or not. This was just my reminder to start reading again. Start reading again and just ease your way into it, and eventually you will get into the habit of reading long term. It will become fun again when you make it fun again. Happy Monday!
All right. I've been getting a lot of comments like this. Everybody complaining about the long story times. Look, if you want to see somebody explain a story that got all the facts, all the juicy details, as juicy as my crawfish, I'm not the TikToker for you, my love. You can go on somebody else's TikTok and go let them run down some shit, or you could simply search in the TikTok search bar and go watch a story time in 30 seconds. But that's not how I make my content. So it's either you're going to skip through the content or you're going to shut up and normalize having a grown person attention span. Y'all need to realize the attention span that social media has dumbed everybody down to, that's not normal. It's normal for a toddler, but for a grown-ass adult, that's not normal. So I don't know what to tell you, baby. Just go to somebody else's, press the search in my viral video. I don't know.
You can rebuild your attention span by just doing less. The next time you are engaged in some sort of activity, especially activities that require your full brain power or both of your hands, try not listening to music or not putting on a podcast or an audiobook and just doing the thing that you're doing in silence without any media input, and see where that takes you. See where your mind brings you. See what ideas come up in your head. Notice the thoughts that come through. Notice the connections that you're making. Notice the stuff that happened to you in the past couple days or months or years, and if that has anything to do with how you're doing what you're doing. And also notice if you have the urge to put on some sort of media. When I do this cleanse, if you will, sometimes I get a really strong urge to listen to one song, and I'll be just humming along as if I'm listening to that one song in my brain. And then as a reward afterwards, I'll listen to that song. I think that we're motivated to do a lot of different things at once because we feel more productive and we feel like we can juggle lots of different things in the air. That gives us satisfaction. But the irony of that is that it actually takes more effort to do like 3 things at once than it is to do all 3 of those things independently of one another. It's no good to be distracted. It's best to put your whole soul and heart in whatever it is that you're doing. In the words of Twyla Tharp, you are cheating yourself if you're not doing it excellently. And doing anything excellently requires you to put your entire heart and soul and all your attention in it, and a short attention span and being distracted is what's going to make that full focus difficult to access. But you can build up to it. You can create the conditions for a total focus, a flow, to emerge.
This app and Instagram has messed me up so much. Like, my attention span is so short. Like, I don't know what is wrong with me, and I know it's because of the scrolling, and I have to like force myself to like sit through a video and watch it. Like, even if I find it interesting, like I just want to scroll. Like, I the only way I could watch, like, I watch YouTube videos, and the only way I can really watch them is like if it's the audio ones, and like I'll listen to it in the shower, or I'll listen to it while getting ready, I'll listen to it while doing my makeup, stuff like that. Even with TikTok videos, like, I'll put the phone down, listen to it while I'm using the bathroom, listen to it while I'm in the shower, like, I have to listen to it, like, while I'm doing something. I don't know, I just be wanting to scroll. Like, even if I'm interested in a bit, I just want to scroll so bad. I don't know why. I need help. Like, it's so bad to where I can't even sit in the movie theaters and watch a movie, or I can't even sit at home and watch a movie, like, and if I do, I have to like force myself to get into it for like the first 15-30 minutes. Like, I have to literally like force with all my willpower to get through it, and then once I'm into it, then I'll be good. But other than that, if you don't have me in the beginning, you lost me. Like, it's so bad, I'll start watching a video on this app, close out of the app, then go to Instagram, scroll, then close out of Instagram, then go back to the video and continue watching it, then exit the video, then go to YouTube and start watching something, then pause that, then go back to Instagram, scroll, like stuff, then go back to TikTok and continue the same video that I was watching for the last 15 minutes of me scrolling and liking and YouTubing and, ooh.
A quick reminder, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and let's continue the video.
Being on TikTok every day has really improved my attention span. Like, I have much more tolerance to listen to someone explain something to me than I did when I was on Instagram. And that's been a really, really nice shift. Like, I'm hearing nuances in things differently. I'm following more people and seeing their humanity rather than, I don't know, some perfectly portrayed image of who people are. And there's still some of that, but it's not the same over here. They're real people, and I can tell I'm not responding to a bot. And I'm sure bots will come, but it's nice to I feel seen here. This is nice.
I don't know what it is, but like when I was younger, like I had a brain of a fucking eagle. Like I can remember anything. You dig what I'm saying? Like no matter what it is, I can remember off the bat. I don't care what it was. Now it's like I grew to have an attention span of a fucking squirrel. Like I could be thinking about something, and like if you tell me, I'ma forget. If I see something, the shit gone. Like I want to know if I'm the only person. Like, is this normal? Is this normal? Because I don't know if I should be concerned.
I have one of the worst memories when it comes to anything, honestly. One of the worst memories. I always forget. Like, need constant reminders of things, especially if it is not really important to me. I forget it like that. But if it is, then I remember it. So how my brain works is just like, I'm just always thinking of various things. So I can totally relate because I'm pretty much the same way. It goes in one ear, out the other, and I forget like that. But if it is things important to me, you best believe, even after a year, I will remember that. But if it's not, it's just information or something like that, then it's just really hard to remember.
While I'm sitting here, I thought about something. I really wish that we can get back to our own individual, like, researching and stuff. Like, we used to go on Google and just click hella different pages to figure out what we needed. We've got so used to going on TikTok. TikTok has become the new Google. That's a new search engine. Everybody goes on TikTok to look up something, to get the facts. That took away our own ability to research because we're looking it up and having somebody else do it for us. I hate that. Like, we're literally dumbing down and technology is getting extra smart and we're just gonna be useless. We're really not even gonna be, we're gonna be useless, y'all. Like, come on, this is fucking sad. Like, things I really think about for real.
I'm sorry, but if you can't sit through 3 paragraphs of exposition in a fan fiction, something that's already being written as fan service, and you know the author has the exact same intentions as you do as the reader, how are you too fucking brain dead to like endure the slight moment of like not instant gratification? I don't know. I just think it's sad and scary. And I know a lot of younger kids that are like into like fandom stuff. They just get on character AI, and there it's like even worse because it's just action chat. And you wait for nothing. Everything is just given to you.
Yeah, no, because I'm tired of y'all coming to my TikTok page and telling me to hurry up and get to the point. There's 2 things you could do if I'm talking too slow for you in a TikTok video. Number 1 is you keep scrolling. And number 2 is you press and hold the bottom left corner of the screen to speed up the video. And if that's still too slow for you, then you need to put the phone down and go aside. It is not normal for your attention span to be so low that you can't even watch a 3-minute video without scrolling or telling the person in the video to hurry up and get to the point. And it be the people who have never in their life created a single TikTok video that have the audacity to tell the creators to hurry up and get to the point. Babe, how about you open the front camera and try saying something without stumbling over your words and without talking too slow? You'll realize how difficult it is when you do it yourself. So please have some patience, and if you can't have patience, then just keep scrolling. It's not my responsibility to make sure that I'm speaking at a pace that you can keep up with. It is your responsibility to learn to slow down, take a breath, go for a walk, clear your head, and then come back and reprocess some new information. First of all, y'all are listening to things without even understanding them, so that in itself is a problem. But the fact that you are listening without understanding and then complaining about the fact that the creator did not get to the point quickly enough is actually psychotic. Put the phone down, go outside, talk to some real people, and you'll find out real quick that people do not talk at incredibly fast speeds. People actually talk incredibly slow. And if you don't have the patience, then you cannot engage in the conversation, period. Just scroll. Stop telling me to hurry up and get to the point. I'm gonna tell y'all to slow down and listen.
When y'all be on here telling y'all stories, please just get straight to the point for the people that got short attention span. I really be wanting to sit there and hear that shit out, but I just cannot. It be a minute or 2 in, and y'all ain't even started the story yet. Now, mind you, just get to the fucking point. I'm over it.
I want to talk about how Substack is increasing my attention span. It is forcing me to read more. And secondly, it has made me challenge myself to stick to one thing at a time. Sometimes you might find an article on there that has like a really catchy title, and then when you start reading it, it's not really as interesting as you thought it would be. So I've been challenging myself to finish the article regardless if it's interesting or not. Also, some articles give you the option to read the Audible version of it. When it doesn't have the Audible version, I started finding myself clicking out of it because I was just like, I don't want to just read the article by myself. I want the Audible version. But I've also started challenging myself to just read the article anyway. It just forces you to just stay on one thing at a time. Whereas on TikTok and Instagram, if you scroll on a video or something and it doesn't catch your interest within like the first 3 to 5 seconds, you immediately scroll up. Substack is just very slow. It feels quiet, and I just love it over there.
Our attention span is worse than a goldfish because of social media. It's actually a lie. I went on a deep dive yesterday and ended up learning that whole social media and attention span thing is untruthful and very vague, and I'm going to explain why. Many articles that you've been seeing this year as well as last year have been saying that our attention span has gone from 12 seconds to 8 seconds, which is nearly less of an attention span than a goldfish. If you look into the source of where they get this information from, it's actually from an article from Microsoft. And the article from Microsoft is actually talking about how advertising is becoming harder due to the fact that people that use social media are processing information at a higher rate. Instead of it taking 12 seconds in order to process the information and move along, it now takes 8 seconds. So that whole thing of the attention span, not true. It's less that our attention span has gotten worse and more that our information processing has gotten better. Now, of course, we're still getting brain fatigue from all of this because we're processing information at such a high rate. But if you look into that Microsoft article and where it gets its sources from, is actually a very and extremely non-reliable source. Even taking that article with a grain of salt, you're not getting dumber. You're just getting better at knowing what is dumber and moving along faster.
So I'm always hearing the older generation talk about how we have such short attention spans, but I don't see the issue to getting straight to the fucking point. I don't need a whole backstory. I don't need your whole life story for you to tell me what you're thinking. Just fucking spit it out. I don't understand the issue.
It absolutely baffles me that I just saw a 3-minute video on this app. I go to the comments and all of the comments are complaining about how the video is too long. I'm not gonna lie to you, I watched the video on 2 times speed, but really 3 minutes? Obviously, it seems like the logical conclusion here is that everybody's attention span, including my own, has been completely fried by short form content like TikTok. But at the same time, I would be willing to bet that the average person using this app definitely spends more than 3 minutes at a time on it. I know I 100% struggle to get off this app sometimes. I watched a movie on a plane yesterday, but before I watched it, I was genuinely concerned that I was not gonna be able to make it through the whole movie because of my short attention span. Yes, I did make it through and I was thoroughly entertained, but I think 10-year-old me watching 30-minute YouTube videos would be completely shocked if he found out 21-year-old me was having those thoughts before the movie. I'm no scientist, but the difference between the movie and TikTok is that with a movie, you're stuck watching one continuous thing, whereas with TikTok, you can just scroll and you get something new every single time. It's like I go to this app and I just say, one more hit of dopamine, bro, please, just one more hit, bro, just one more hit of dopamine, please, and I'll stop. I will say though that over the past few weeks, I have decided to completely not allow myself to use my phone while I'm getting ready in the morning and not use my phone for 30 minutes before bed, and my life has drastically improved, so that's good, I guess. Good luck and follow for more.
All right, as much as it pains me to say this, I think I need to stop pressing 1.5 and 2 times on the videos. My attention span has gone to shit. I cannot listen to somebody unless they're talking like this fast. Blah, blah, blah. I literally be looking at people like, I need you to get to the point and fast. 5, 4, 3. I need to focus. I need to slow down. I should have never started on that feature. My podcasts are all on 1.5. If it's not on 1.5, I cannot stay with you. TikTok, 2 times every single time. I don't really be listening to y'all for real. Speed it up. But that's not good. I think I need to stop.
TikTok has done something to me that is irreversible. Like, I can't stop it even if I try. Earlier, I was shopping for a vacation that's coming up next month, okay? But I can't just be shopping on my phone. I had to put on a show on my laptop. That's why I'm holding this right now. I just needed to show you. I had to put on a show on my laptop, okay? You know what I realized is when I'm watching TikToks, I love those videos where it's like a split screen and someone's like playing with slime or like doing some ASMR on the side, and then there's like a show on the other half of the screen. And that is me in real life now. Like, when I'm studying, I have to go to a crowded coffee shop, listen to music, and then I can study. Like, I can't study in like a silent room. Shopping, for example, I have to put a show on. If it's not a show, it's a podcast. If it's not a podcast, it's a YouTube video. Like, I literally need like music playing at the same time, a show playing at the same time, and me shopping. Like, when I edit videos, I'm literally watching a show in the background. And I'm not even watching it. It's just like, I have to fill the space with something. That's so terrible. Like, my attention span down the drain. I can't focus. I need like, oh my gosh, I sound so Gen Z. Does anyone else deal with this, or is it just me? Like, I feel like I can't focus unless there's like 3 other things going on. That's not the person I used to be before TikTok. Like, I can't.
Okay, the biggest myth in neuroscience right now is that our attention spans are supposedly getting shorter, but that cannot be further from the truth. Our attention spans aren't getting shorter. We've just been given systems that capitalize on our brain's reward mechanisms. Firstly, and I don't know where this idea came from, people don't necessarily have an attention span that's fixed to begin with, because your attention span for a task at work versus when you're scrolling through TikTok are gonna be completely dependent because your task is different. Like, I assume when you're at work, you're not just focusing on a task for 8 seconds and then calling it a day. If you feel like your focus has become more sporadic because you're using TikTok, it's probably because you've been given access to an environment that's not allowing you to focus. Attention, like many different skills, is a muscle and you build it. But also, just like everything with the human mind, if you have access to do things that are more like dopaminergic, then you're going to do those things. So create environments for yourself that allow you to focus if you need to focus. And that's how you fix your attention span.
Guys, here's the thing. If you consume short form content every single day, you are literally training your brain on how to do that. And so over time, you will have less attention. But on the other hand, you can actually train your brain by consuming longer form content, longer videos. Reading is a great way, guys. Instead of watching all the time, you can read content. Read long form content. Retrain your brain. Retrain yourself on how to consume longer form content. You can train yourself into it. You can train yourself out of it. So it's really up to you. And as for me, I actually prefer much longer form content. So I usually watch like podcasts that are like 2.5 hours, 3 hours long. And I sit and I hear the whole thing. I watch the whole thing. And if I have time that day, I will usually just watch 2 or 3 podcasts that are at least 2 to 4 hours long. And I'll sit there and watch through the whole thing. If you watch longer form content, then you will be, number one, more informed. And number two, you will learn a lot more. And you will become a lot wiser as you consume longer form content versus the really short content.
In the age of social media prodding of the brain, I want y'all to pontificate upon this. When did you first start seeing the splurge of people talking about how short their attention spans are? I know that we have Snap and all this other little stuff. I'm talking about when people started making videos on TikTok and everything, when they first wanted to go viral. That was what people first started saying. Oh, you got to make sure it's short. You got to make sure it gets to the point. You got to make sure you're engaging. And all of that is true to some small degree. If you're talking about something of worth, y'all, and if you're engaging with the people that hopefully you want to be on the level of engaging with, kids are the people, and I don't mean 18-year-old plus kids. I'm talking about underage kids that aren't legal enough to be on my page are the only people that should be saying that my content is something that you know, or writing any other person on here and telling them to get to the point concerning something that they are opting to share. They ain't got to tell your ass a goddamn thing about. But y'all don't realize that's something that TikTok set into place to have people start saying, because it keeps people from getting paid, or because even if you watch somebody's video for a few seconds and you don't give them, it still affects the amount of money, because TikTok is going to adjust it accordingly. And I'm not saying that that's always good. Like I told you, I got videos where I got a 60-some% watch rate all the way through, and they still only paid me a damn 1 cent per 1,000 videos, or for my little qualified views. So yeah, there's still a non-method to their madness. But anywho, my point is trying to get y'all to see that y'all don't have short attention spans. They set that shit into place and start telling y'all that because of social media to make it that way. And what that does is knock the creators out of being able to get paid, because the shorter y'all watch, the more, and y'all already know a bunch of y'all on here haters anyway, especially the ones that aren't in the fun, that I keep telling y'all that it ain't nothing to it, trust me, it's not worth the fucking hype. But you know, do you. And, you know, like I said, there's more stuff just besides that fun that you can get. You get affiliate programs, marketing, you know, campaigns and stuff to do with people and things like that, collabos, whatever. However, what I am saying is that stop pushing that narrative and acting like y'all are the ones that came up with this and, oh, it's on y'all. There's some social media, namely TikTok, putting y'all heads and that y'all started believing.
All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Skip 10 seconds. Bro, the video just started. All right, so as I was saying, another 10 seconds. Bro, give me a chance. You can't just be doing that. All right, now he just talking too much. Times 2. As I was saying, today's video is about saving pigeons. Now, no pigeons be annoying as hell, but we gotta save them. Step 1, grab that motherfucker by the neck. All right, let's see if he's saying something now. Wait, did you just speed me up? I'm gonna just watch another video. It took weeks to plan this video.
One thing that TikTok has been really bad for all of us is our attention span, because I'm included also. My attention span is cooked, right? But I know some people that literally cannot sit through and watch like a 30-minute TV show without looking on their phone. Like, I have friends that literally cannot go to the movie theaters or watch a movie because their attention span is that cooked, right? Like, they cannot sit for an hour and a half, 2 hours without looking at their phone or without like swiping or doing something. And I'm not as bad as that. Like, I could sit through things or whatever, but even my attention span, it's cooked, right? And this app is probably to blame for it. Because the fact that most of the videos on this app are like from 7 seconds to like over a minute long, especially in the beginning, like a few years ago when TikTok was really short form content, so many people, you could just scroll all day long. And even now, you can just doom scroll, whatever it may be. Our attention spans are cooked. Like, there are times where I'm watching or doing something and like I feel the need to check my phone or like switch up what I'm watching, and I have to take a step back and be like, why do I need to look at my phone? Like, am I really that bad? I feel like it's worse with younger kids, their attention spans, because they've only grown up with this type of content. At least we, I feel like a few years ago, we weren't as bad with the attention span just because everything wasn't such like short form content, but now it is. And kids genuinely can't sit through class without looking at their phone or some shit, or they can't like sit through a movie or sit through just like hanging out with people without like looking at their phone. And like, I'm guilty of it sometimes, and I'm trying to be better about it because I'm like, damn, like I don't actually want to be cooked.
Bro, why did no one tell me that becoming self-employed and promoting yourself on social media, TikTok, and being a music producer was going to mess up my attention span so much? Like, I did 4 years of studies, had to read hundreds of books and write hundreds of essays, and now I can't even sit down and read a paragraph. Like, I swear to God, this like career path and these apps and the way that it's built and the way that we're fighting for everyone's attention and stuff, like, once I'm gonna have to go back into the real world and get a real job, like, I'm screwed.
Now, I know a lot of people's attention spans are cooked, but I did not know it was this fucking bad. There have been multiple times where I will post a video. Mind you, my videos be 1 minute, 30 seconds, 2 minutes at most. So if you watch it on 2 times, the longest video is going to take you 1 minute or 30 seconds to get through. And despite the fact it'll take at most 45 seconds to get through a damn TikTok, not a YouTube video, mind you, a TikTok, people will still comment some shit before the video is over. And they'll just post ignorance in the comment section because they didn't watch the full fucking video. A couple weeks ago, I made a video about how people would say men used to go to war whenever they see men enjoying something that may be traditionally feminine, and how that's inherently harmful, and how that's not like a cool thing to say because war is terrible. So I made the video, and I had a hook at the beginning, mind you. Actually, I'll just put the video in so you see what the beginning of the video looks like. Oh my God, men used to go to war. Then used to go to war, now they're setting up tents at Coachella. Then used to go to war, now they're fashion niggas. Then used to go to war, come home, and beat their wives. So mind you, that was the first 5 seconds of the video. The first 5 seconds of the video. On 2 times, first 2.5 seconds of the video. Apparently, niggas couldn't get past the first 2 seconds of the video, into the point where I said, glorifying war is bad, and I'd rather have my father, who is a war veteran, doing something that he enjoyed than going to war. I got comments, terrible ass comments, calling me out of my name, thinking that I was saying that men should go to war, when that was the exact opposite of what I was saying. How cooked do you have to be that you can't get through 2 seconds of a TikTok? What the fuck is up? What is happening?
I appreciate you guys watching the video today. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.